So I was browsing Reddit. I know, that's how every horrible story starts. But I just have to say, there's a mindset in this world that I absolutely cannot stand because it makes zero sense. It might make sense if you can justify it a lot in your head, but it makes no sense. And that is, it is good until proven bad. And you can do this with a lot of things, but it just, like on a genuine, like ground level concept, it makes zero sense. Oh, well, let's just build the building the way we want to until it like if it doesn't fall down, then it's built right. It doesn't make sense, and I see so many people use it in the worst case scenario, and that is with health. Oh, it's good unless it's proven to kill you. Like, if it's proven to kill you and you've had it your whole life, then it's probably too late. And I just want to kind of go through a little thing I've seen on Reddit. So I was browsing it, and I was looking into, I don't know if anybody loves coffee as much as me, definitely, but I wanted to look for a plastic-free coffee dripper because I like coffee, and I like my coffee to be automatic because I hate sitting there. I currently use a pour over. I'll put a little video up in the top right here somewhere of me just pouring it into the coffee pour over, and it takes forever. I mean, it's only like 5 minutes, but 5 minutes for a coffee when, you know, you want to kind of go on with your day is quite a bit, especially when you're just sat there like, waiting for it to go. So anyways, someone else had the same question as me. This was 5 years ago. The general consensus is better now. People are more aware of the fact that boiling hot water touching plastics, especially black plastics, if you have been keeping up with everything, is not a good thing. But anyways, this person asks, so they say that hot water going through plastic every single day and drinking it doesn't seem like a good idea. And the general consensus today is it absolutely is not. Should not do that. That's bad. To which somebody responds, I'm going to blur out the name because I like don't want to like blast them or anything. I'm a scientific person, so I pretty much stop at the science. I would need some sort of scientific evidence that it's bad before I would be afraid to use it. Fine. That is fine. But I would just like to point out the flaw in the logic. You can technically say that about anything. Think about it. Like, I could walk up to you right now and just mix a shit ton of different chemicals together, and I could be like, here you go. And then I'd be like, dude, I just saw you mix like sulfuric acid with like some other crazy compound. Like, I'm not having that. And I'm like, it hasn't been proven unsafe. Like, just take it. I don't see a problem with it. It doesn't make any sense. And it's the same thing I said about the building. Like, oh, well, we'll just construct the building like however the hell we want to, and until it's proven not safe, good with me. He says, of course, I'm also a skeptical person and don't trust corporations, and I know their best interests are not my best interests. That is true. Always think like that. I am sorry. It's just the world we live in. We live in a world where profit matters more than anything. So if you can add an extra preservative or something and it ultimately ends up harming your health more, so be it. But still assuming BPA-free plastics are bad without scientific evidence is like assuming glass is bad. They could both be horrible for you, but there's no evidence yet. So, panic? ? No, don't panic. You should never panic about anything because, quite frankly, panicking gets nothing done. I think the thing that you should be aware of is that the petroleum industry is worth billions. Billions. So, do they want you to find out about anything bad? Just think about the tobacco industry. The tobacco industry, I don't know if they were worth billions, but they were worth a lot of money. Did they want scientific papers coming out showing that tobacco products were bad for you? No. So to wait for research to be published on this is kind of, you kind of need to be proactive about these things. Can you foresee a possible problem? I mean, plastics don't break down. That's a problem. Like, you can kind of see it from a mile away, can you not? So sometimes you have to use your noggin, this big, huge lump of fat in your skull, and kind of think, is this bad for me? Could this be bad for me? Are there logical paths in which this may be bad for me? And if so, how can I prevent that? I'll throw it back to the building analogy. Is there a logical path in which this building that I had no engineers design and I just threw up, is there any chance that that could collapse? Yes, so probably don't go in the building. Someone responded, and I agree with them wholeheartedly. I think it's the right approach, And he says, you look back through history and there are so many cases where we learn about the dangers of something after it's too late for a lot of people. I try to look at things of the potential of the unknown. Glass and stable metals are so minimally more expensive, I see no reason not to use them when there's the option. And to which the guy responds, sure, but that's not scientific. The plastics today are not the plastics of yesterday. Because the plastics today are not petroleum based and they break down in nature? In fact, using that logic, you shouldn't use metal products because of lead, aluminum, and even mercury. What don't we know about steel? We know a lot about steel. Steel's been around for a really long time. In fact, steel has been around since, the dawn of time, because we have co-evolved with plants that uptake nutrients from the soil, and in the soil are metals. Metals are in plants. We need metals. You need iron. Your blood is iron. You need magnesium, you need selenium, you need zinc, you need metals. That's my point. So obviously there's a high amount of heavy metals that is toxic, but our body has co-evolved to deal with metals to some extent. Plastics have never existed. It's kind of it's bad logic on his part. And I know this is a Reddit video. It's like, man discovers moon is in the sky, but still, it's just frustrating because I see so much of this. And he goes on to say, don't get me wrong, I hope you're right, but personally, I don't have the expertise to make a judgment, and I look back at all the people who supposedly did and were wrong. So I'm not going to go on with it because he goes on to just say that he's like skeptical or whatever, but I just want to use this video as a way to say, if you ever feel like you are crazy because nobody agrees with your stance, or it might be like a bit out there, you're making assumptions, and you go on Reddit and it seems like everybody's disagreeing with you, they are falsely confident. They have everyone pretty much, as far as I know today, everyone has access to the internet. A lot of people have the same information as you, and a lot of people are falsely confident, and they jump to tell people about things that they have no idea about, when you have just the same amount of knowledge, except they are falsely confident, arrogant. People are more inclined to believe people like that, and I just want to make this video as kind of a way to show, hold yourself to your own standard, because if this was you who wrote this Reddit post, this was 5 years ago, and I just want to say, you're right, because plastics today have been shown to be pretty awful for you. They have been shown to increase oxidative stress, which is not good. And it's another thing we have to hammer on top of in this world because there's so many pollutants in the environment now. And microplastics are another one that our bodies have to deal with. Now, nothing beats a good diet and exercise, but it's just an unnecessary burden to the body. And I honestly, people who make the effort to try and avoid them, I have nothing but respect for you. It makes sense. You should not have boiling water touching plastic. It's not a good idea. I can see that. Anyways, I thought it was funny and I wanted to make a video on it because it's just like, I see it all the time. Like, someone will talk about something and someone's like, get good, kid. And they have no idea what they're talking about. And this guy, the guy who made this, the original poster, he had a suspicion and he was right in the long run. And someone responded to him, kind of making him out to be like, just like unnecessarily cautious, but he was right. Anyways, it's been Halted Spark, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.